And we welcome you into Lexington, South Carolina. It's game 2 for the Kingsman Baseball Academy varsity team. It is day 2 of the 2026 ABA Round Robin Tournament right here from Lexington, South Carolina. I'm Griffin Leonard as the Kingsmen take on the Georgia Premier Red Sox in one of their biggest games of the season as far as seeding purposes are concerned. Logan Daniel about to lead this one off against Travis Adderley. It is a busy day in Kingsman country, so we hope you're ready to buckle in and get along for the ride as Adderley throws home the first pitch of the ball game, and it's popped up foul to the first base side. And it is 0-1 to Logan Daniel. Daniel Thomas Catani, the 3 leading off. That 0-1 is on the outside corner. Travis Adderley pitched back in Statesboro against the Kingsmen from a relief spot. He gets the start today. Daniel taps it out to Garibaldi at short. Garibaldi to first. And they have Daniel at the first base bag by a half step. It's 1 out. Around the infield, Ridgway, Garibaldi, Gregg, and Appleboom. Left to right, North Williams, the catcher for the left-hander Adderley. And then Richards, Galloway, and Burrows in the outfield. And it's the right-hander Adderley, pardon me. Out of the windup to Eli Thomas, who batted in the 10-hole yesterday, and in the 2-hole, he pops up the first pitch back of home plate. The catcher did not see it, but it did not matter as it landed out of play, 0-1. Just one varsity game here for you this morning from Lexington, South Carolina. The prospect team has 2 games back-to-back as soon as this one concludes. 0-1 is in there at the top of the zone. Adderley is filling it up here in the first inning. Jake Donaldson set to make his second start here in the States for the Kingsmen after returning after a period away with injury. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitched last week against ECA in his first start since the team was in the Dominican Republic back in February. Great to have him back once more today. 1-2. Thomas takes the curveball. It's low for ball 2. Daniel Thomas Catani, then Harris Clark is batting cleanup. Two and 2 from Adderley. Thomas swings through it. Strike 3. Full order for the Kingsmen here in their second varsity game. Daniel Thomas Catani, Harris Clark, Christian Burney, Brody Winan, and then Jack Catron, Matt De La Cruz, and Deacon Curtis. The 9 in the lineup for the KBA. Dino Catani did not start the game yesterday, but came in as a pinch hitter. He plays center today. Swings, pops up the first pitch, shallow first base side of the infield. The pitcher is off the mound, and that ball drops. No one caught the baseball. The pitcher got out of the way. The first baseman let it go. And the third baseman, Colton Ridgway, who came all the way over, stopped shy of the baseball, thinking that Appleboom was going to make the catch. And I think that'll get scored as a single. No one touched it. Harris Clark up to the plate with 2 outs. The Kingsmen will certainly take it after their first 2 hitters were put out with the ground out and the strikeout. Now Clark, with a chance to get things started, takes an outside corner strike. It's 0-1. This game, in essence, for the 5 seed. These 2 teams separated by a half a game. If Georgia Premier wins, they lock up the 5 seed for good. If the Kingsmen win, it'll go down to the final day against the Bobcats of Eastern Carolina Academy. There's a curveball low for ball 1. The Kingsmen, with their win yesterday over the Blacksmiths, ensured that they would not be playing in those 7-10, 8-9 games in the first round of the double elimination bracket in Lake Point, instead condemning TNXL to that fate. That's in the dirt. Going down to second. Catani, the throw is on a line, and it is into center. Dino made the turn, but now gets back to second, and he is there after advancing on the wild pitch. The block was not bad from North Williams, but he was unable to scramble to his feet and make an accurate throw to get Catani, who hustled to get into scoring position. So the runner's on second for Clark, who is ahead 2-1 here in the count. Grounds that ball to third, and it is fouled. Christian Birney is on deck if the Kingsmen get another hitter. Meanwhile, in the bottom of the first, it'll be Galloway, McBride, and Williams for Georgia Premier. 2-2, and a swing and a miss to get Harris Clark. The Kingsmen get a runner on with an unorthodox base hit, but they do not score. We go to the bottom of the first right here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here in the bottom of the first, it's Kingsman and Georgia Premier. Varsity ABA round robin, action here from Lexington, South Carolina. Jake Donaldson is on the mound to face the center fielder Galloway. He throws the first pitch strike, a fastball at the knees to get it started. He pitched in one of those games against ECA. Started the final game of that series. There's a ball low to make it 1-1. Donaldson did some good work on the mound in his United States debut for the Kingsmen, but the Kingsmen unfortunately dropped that game. Their only loss in the week out in Goldsboro. 4-1 between the two levels, including that prospect win over ECA's premier team. 2 balls and 1 strike. Out of the windup, Donaldson pitching to Galloway. Fastball swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That Varsity loss last week ended a 10-game win streak for the KVA between the two levels. They've now gotten the streak up to 2. Looking for a 3rd consecutive win between Prospect and Varsity here in the first game of the day here at the Auxiliary Field in Lexington. Stadium across the way, the site of one of the 2 Prospect games today. There's a 3-2 pop-up, shallow right, long run for Winan, coming over toward the corner, slides, and he made the catch in foul territory. Excellent work from Brody Winan for the first out here in the first inning. had a long way to go for that one that was tailing away from the right fielder. And a catch made to retire Galloway. Here is Casey McBride, one of the 2 extra hitters in the Georgia Premier order. Donaldson had to work for that first out, having thrown 6 pitches. Here is number 7. And it is another first pitch strike. That is one thing that Donaldson does very, very well. Commands the zone. Interested to see by the time this season's over if Donaldson will be pitching for Varsity or Prospect when we get to Lake Point. But he is good at filling up the zone with the fastball, and he is quickly ahead 0-2 to Casey McBride. McBride, then North Williams, then Amari Burrows, the meat of the order for the home Red Sox. Coming up north here from Statesboro. 0-2 from Jake. Flat fastball, he got him. 3-pitch strikeout to get McBride for the first strikeout of the day for the Kingsmen defensively. Both teams second out here in the first inning comes with a swinging strikeout, and here comes the Williams. 2 up, 2 down for the Kingsmen, trying to put a 0 on the board in the bottom of the first, just as Georgia Premier did in the top half. Breaking ball strike on the outside half of the zone. Williams, then Burrows, Bankston, Seeley, Gray, Richards, Appleboom, Garibaldi, and Ridgeway, the 11 hitters for the home team. Another breaking ball, this time low below the strike zone, 1-1. The Kingsmen in the field have De La Cruz, Catani, and Winan in the outfield. Bernie, Daniel, Thomas, and Clark in the infield, 1-1. Back to the fastball, one foul. Hatred took the mask off, but it was well away from the catcher's position. Two strikes here with 2 outs. 1-2 out of the windup. Donaldson shifts and fires. Fastball just low, and it is 2-2. In the top of the second, the Kingsmen will bring up Bernie, Winan, and Keitron. See if the score remains tied. Well, they try to do so. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, low, taken for ball 3. Donaldson showing off his stuff early here, but Williams has fought back from being down to 2 strikes, and now he hits the 3-2 out to left, deep into the corner. De La Cruz chases, and that ball is gone. 2 strikes swinging. North Williams rips it down the line and hooks it inside of the foul pole for a solo home run. The first run of this ball game comes from the Red Sox, and it is 1-0.
It never went over.
Preston Hudak walking out to the base umpire, and I think he is saying that that ball never actually cleared the fence, that it went in between. I believe there's a door out there that allows for a little bit of a gap, and now the 2 umpires coming together. It did look a little bit awkward when that ball got out toward the fence. Of course, unable to watch a replay on our camera here, and we are upwards of 350 feet away from it, but with the blind eye, something looked unusual, I guess is what I'll say. I would doubt that it will get overturned. As of now, it is a solo home run for North Williams to make it 1-0, and Preston Hudak will walk back to the bench with the call unchanged. So it is a solo home run for Williams. That makes it 1-0. And here comes Amari Burrows. Each team with a 2-out hit. First pitch from Donaldson after the solo home run. It's a foul ball to the right-hand side. First home run here in the round robin of this field that the Kingsmen have seen. They did not have a home run in either the 7 game last night. Here's a ground ball out to Daniel. Logan Daniel shuffles and throws on a hop. Clark knocks it. That ball was chopped on the infield, and it looked like Daniel had a little bit of time potentially to come in on it, but Burroughs had a decent chance to beat it out. So we'll see how it's officially scored. Either way, Burroughs on first here with 2 outs. Fastball off the handle and foul, 0-1. And that's on the outside corner to make it 0-2. Kingsman with an early deficit here, but down by just 1 run. Donaldson comes set at the belt. Working out of the stretch here, throws to first, and back safely standing up goes Amari Burroughs. Another throw to first. This time Burroughs dives. 3 games on tap for you today from Lexington, South Carolina, 2 of which will be played on this field this game, and then the final game today for the Kingsmen, prospect ball against Ray's Collegiate. Meanwhile, the Kingsmen prospect team will be over at the stadium momentarily to get ready for their game against ECA. That ball hit out to right, playable for Winan. Moving to his right now, back to his left, and has the catch to retire the side. 1 run on the home run by Williams. We go to the second, 1-0 here in Lexington. We'll be right back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Here for the second inning, it is 1-0 here in Lexington, ABA round robin. It's the varsity opener against Georgia Premier, game 2 for the varsity team this week. Christian Burney against Travis Adderley to start the second. Burney takes low of the zone. It is ball 1. Mentioned it earlier, but this game important for seeding purposes for the ABA championships here in 2 weeks, as Burney takes ball 2 inside. Both these teams separated by half a game for the 5th and 6th seeds here at the varsity level. Right now, that's the difference between playing the Florida Travel Ball Bulls in round 1. If we were to finish as the 5 seed, as that ball is at the top of the zone, 2-1, or to play P27, who's currently sitting as the 3 seed at the varsity level. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, being the 5 seed, you'd eventually have to play the 1 in the second round versus the 6, you play the 2. But all of that, as the 2-2, Adderley sees that ball popped up to the second base side. It's the first baseman, Appleboom, that catches the Burney pop-up, and it's out number 1. You can speculate on seeding and on opponents all you want, but at the end of the day, if the Kingsmen at both levels want to be competing for the respective titles, you're going to have to beat some of the best teams in the division, regardless of where you start in the bracket. Best teams are going to meet at the end regardless. It's a ball at the top of the zone to Brody Wyden playing right field. Once again, he caught 2 fly balls, 2 and 3 outs in the bottom of the first. 1-0. And he skies it. The catcher rips off the mask. North Williams toward the chain link fence makes the catch in foul territory. Wyden out on the foul pop-up, and there are quickly 2 outs here in the top of the second as Travis Adderley continues to settle in here against these Kingsman hitters. Adderley has looked near untouchable. Jack Catron facing Adderley out of the windup. First pitch swinging, and he swings through the fastball. It's 0-1. Bottom 2, Lamar Seeley, Jonah Gregg, and Julian Richards, the 3 for the Red Sox. 0-1 is inside. Matt De La Cruz on deck for the Kingsmen if Catron reaches. 1-1 pitch. Catron skies it. Another infield pop-up. This one to the first baseman. Appleboom makes the catch. A little bit more difficult than his first, but 3 pop-outs that do not leave the infield. The Kingsmen go down in order. We'll be back at the bottom of the second here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom 2 here in Lexington, South Carolina. The Kingsmen and Georgia Premier. Second game for the Kingsmen here in this round-robin tournament. They'll play tomorrow against ECA to wrap up the regular season. There's a first pitch ground ball to Logan Daniel. Nice scoop on the up-hop, and then the throw to first. Clark kept his foot on the bag, and they get Seeley for a beautiful first out here in the bottom of the second. That took a wicked hop up on the shortstop. Logan Daniel recovered, and his throw was just in range of Harris Clark, who stretched to make the catch. So here is Jonah Gregg. Gregg batting for the first time against the Kingsmen all season. And the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Gregg wearing the number 15 and playing the second base position. Donaldson is ahead 0-1. Brings the leg up and comes home. This is outside, and it is 1-1. This is the 5th time these two teams are squaring off here in 2026. The season series is tied at 2-2. The regular season series winner will be crowned with the result of this ball game. Breaking ball nearly dipped in inside edge, but it is 2-1. Kingsmen defeated Georgia Premier out in East Cobb during the ABA kickoff. It was their lone win against varsity competition that week in Atlanta. There's a foul tip strike 2 to make it 2-2 against Gray. Then they went to Statesboro a week and a half later, 3-game series on the road, went 1-2 in those 3 games. Won game 3 to salvage what could have been a sweep in the wrong direction. 2-2. First time these 2 teams have seen each other in over a month and a half. Final week of April. Final week of the ABA Conference regular season. 2-2. Swung on and missed on the pitch that had some inside run. And it is strikeout number 2 for Donaldson, who once again gets his first 2 hitters of the inning. He got 2 quick outs in the first, but then North Williams with the slightly controversial solo home run to left field. And made it 1-0. Julian Richards with a foul ball to make it 0-1. That's the only scoring so far in this ballgame. The Kingsmen have brought 7 hitters to the plate. And I've only gotten the 1 base runner on an infield pop-up that probably should have been caught. 0-1 from Jake. Breaking ball. Dots it on the outside corner. It is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Donaldson trying to get out of this second quickly. And that breaking ball low and away. Richards thought about it but held off.
Here goes Julian.
1-2 pitch. Fastball. Got him. We go to the third. It is 1-0 here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Top of the third here in Lexington. One ball and no strikes to Matt De La Cruz. Adderley throws home, and the fastball hit a mile high back of the infield. And behind home plate, out of play for strike number 1. De La Cruz trying to kickstart this Kingsman offense. They have 1 base runner through the first 2 innings, and it was on a pop-up that did not leave the infield. 1-1. Ground ball through the left side. De La Cruz with a leadoff single, and the Kingsmen have their first man on since the first inning. That is quality hitting from Matt De La Cruz out of Gastonia. Deacon Curtis, the next hitter. The Kingsmen can use some bottom of the order production, chasing this 1-0 lead. Adderley looked practically untouchable through the first 2 innings. That is the hardest hit ball off of the Georgia Premier starter so far in this contest. So Deacon Curtis, the next to hit, squaring to bunt, now pulls back and the ball is in the dirt, 1-0. See how aggressive De La Cruz is on the base paths. He has been known to try to take the extra bag on a pitch in the dirt. He's got some speed out there as one of the Kingsmen outfielders. 1-0. And Curtis fouls it off to the screen. It's 1-1. The Kingsman prospect team has arrived to support their fellow Kingsmen. That prospect first game will begin here in a couple of hours. I believe 2:30, the projected start time. That ball is bunted down. Curtis is... We'll see if he's called out. No, they call him safe. The base umpire calls him safe. And now a call from the home plate umpire pointing toward home plate. I think a little bit of confusion here, but Deacon Curtis called safe on the bunt attempt. At least from out here, it looked like Appleboom got the tag on him. Diving at Deacon, who laid down the sacrifice bunt, but he has evaded the tag and is on with a single. The Kingsmen will certainly take it, as they now have runners on second and first with nobody out. And the top of the order comes back around. First pitch from Adderley to Daniel. Daniel pokes it third base side, and it's under the glove of the third baseman. Everyone is safe. The ball rolled into shallow left. De La Cruz did not try to score with nobody out. And the Kingsmen have the bases loaded and no one out for Eli Thomas.
Here we go, Eli.
It'll go as an error on the third baseman. That was routine, and Colton Ridgway just did not get his glove down onto the grass. Here comes the Georgia Premier coach to chat with his infield. And in a few ways is kind of disintegrated here in the third inning. That safe call at first on the Deacon Curtis bunt, a potential game changer. Here in this third, the Kingsmen now have bases loaded. No one out for 2, 3, 4 in the order. Thomas and Clark both struck out their first time. Meanwhile, Catani had a hit. All three of them will be looking to do some damage here in the third. Behind by just 1 run. 2 hits and an error. To start this third inning, the Kingsmen had just 1 hit prior to the third. They now have 3 outpacing the Georgia Premier, who just has the 1 coming on the solo home run. Eli Thomas, ready right-hand side, a swinging strikeout. Now faces Adderley, who's back out of the windup, and it's low and in on ball 1. Kingsman varsity team had a big offensive week last week in Goldsboro. 1-0. Outside corner strike. They scored 7 runs in their win last night against P27 to open up the round robin. 1-1. Thomas pops it up, but it is foul. 1-2. Back in Statesboro a few weeks ago, the Kingsmen struggled to score. They had just 2 runs in the first 2 games of that series. 1-2. Outside corner, just missed it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The offense came alive in the final game when they won Game 3, scoring 10 runs in that road win. 2-2 to Thomas. And he strikes out for the second time. That's the first out of the inning, and it is a big one for Adderley and the Red Sox, who try to hold their lead. Dino Catani 1 for 1 with that infield pop-up that landed between the infielders.
Dino, do what you do, man.
There's a chance here to tie the score or take the lead. And he swings, chopping the ball first base side, but it is foul. The base runners were on the move, hustling, as they will be here with 1 out on any ball on the ground. Expect De La Cruz to tag on a fly ball and it gets into the outfield grass. No ball balls and one strike. The left-hander out of Cincinnati, Ohio, digs in. Open stance against Adderley, who remains in the windup and throws the 0-1 to the plate. And it's poked to the third base side into shallow left. Coming in on it, the catch is made by Richards, and De La Cruz will not tag. De La Cruz did not tag on that fly ball out to left, and it is a fly out for out number 2. So the bases are still loaded, and here is Harris Clark. A strike to open it up. That was a nice piece of hitting from Catani. Let the bat fly through the zone and tagged it out to left. Should have been deep enough to tie the game. Outside 1-1. Adderley has kept things accurate. The Kingsmen cannot rely on a ball to get by the catcher, North Williams. And as I say that curveball left high has been forced Williams to get up out of his crouch to catch the 2-1. Wind blowing softly out toward left field. 2 balls and 1 strike from Travis Adderley. Clark hits it a mile high out to left, but foul, 2-2. In the bottom of the third inning, it will be 9, 10, and 11 for Georgia Premier. Appleboom, Garibaldi, and Colton Ridgeway. 3 of the 4 infielders set to hit for the Red Sox. 2-2. Inside, Clark got out of the way, and the count is full. Runners will have a head start as Christian Burney awaits a chance on deck. It is 3-2 to Harris. He grounds it foul third base side. Deacon Curtis being told, hey, he's in the windup. As soon as he moves, get going, because Logan Daniel nearly caught up to him on that foul ball. A huge head start for these runners. 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So they find a way to score after all, and it is 1-1. A sigh of relief for all involved on the Kingsman side of things. They tie the score here in the third, and now they'll look for more with one of their biggest bats at the plate. St. Petersburg, Florida native Christian Burney popped out to start the second. He had 2 base hits last night. He takes ball 1 high. 2 hits, both singles in his first 2 at-bats against the Blacksmiths. He's ahead 1-0 here. Adderley goes to the fastball, and it is hit to the chain link behind home plate, 1-1. 2 hits, an error, and a walk have allowed the Kingsmen to tie up this ball game. They bunted twice in the inning, and Georgia Premier did not get an out from either one. That ball, backhand, scooped out by Williams to save the go-ahead run. 2 balls and 1 strike. Once again, bottom 3. It'll be the bottom 3 in the order for the home Red Sox of Georgia Premier. 2 balls and a strike to Burney. Inside, ball 3. Brody Winan is on deck if the Kingsmen take the lead and bring one more back to the plate. Hitters count for Christian Burney, who will be swinging away if he gets a good one, and he swings away to center. Tracking back is Galloway. He camps and catches to end the inning. Burney put a decent swing on it, but did not have enough to power it over the center fielder. Kingsmen tie things up here in the third. It is all knotted up as we go bottom 3 here in Lexington. We'll be right back on the ABA Round Robin here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here, bottom three, Jake Donaldson with a quick second after a one-run first. He has settled in his second start since coming back from injury. Donaldson pitching to the bottom three in the Georgia Premier order. Then it'll be Galloway and the top hitters once again. We'll see if they come up here in the third or if they'll have to wait till the fourth. Donaldson starts. Appleboom with the ball just low of the strike zone. Ball two. Two balls and no strikes. Donaldson with a deep breath, and now he comes home. And it hits the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Donaldson, the starter today for the Varsity team. Meanwhile, on the prospect side of things, Kingsman will go against the Bobcats of ECA at 2:30. Ground ball out to Thomas. Eli Thomas mishandles and does not have a throw. It's an error on the second baseman. That natural grass and dirt surface makes some hops harder to handle. Thomas got it on the hop coming up into his chest, and he mishandled the ball. It is an error to start the third, and Garibaldi the next to hit. But as I was saying, Casey Young starting game 1 against ECA. Micah Irving starting against Ray's Collegiate at 5:15. We'll have both of those games for you live here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. 1 ball, no strikes. Garibaldi, the shortstop for Georgia Premier, hitting with the man on first and nobody out. 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2. Donaldson with a lot of first pitch strikes in the first 2 innings against the Red Sox. His first 2 hitters here, he is fallen behind 2-0. He's come back with a strike now both times. It's 2-1 after the foul ball. Garibaldi, then Ridgway, then the top of the order. Kingsman will need to find a way to get the base runner at first if they're to avoid bringing the top of the order around here in the third. Donaldson checks on first. Now the 2-1 rides inside and hits Garibaldi. Back-to-back base runners to start the bottom of the third. This one comes on the inside fastball. Going to make things difficult for the Kingsmen here in the third. They had bases loaded, nobody out in the top of the third inning off of 2 hits and an error. Scored 1 run on the Harris Clark walk, but unable to get anything further after a couple of flyouts and a strikeout. Donaldson with runners on second and first. Facing Ridgway here with nobody out. First pitch out of the stretch. Bunted, popped up, Bernie dives! Oh, he caught it! He goes to second. Thomas with a scoop, they got him! Oh my! A double play, Christian Bernie goes all out at the hot corner. What an effort! Christian Bernie to a full dive to catch the bunt attempt by Ridgway, and then from his knees threw on a hop to Eli Thomas, and they double off the runner at second base. How about that? Galloway at first with 2 outs. An inning changer. And credit to Christian Bernie for not giving up on that shallow pop-up. Donaldson goes to first again, and once again back safely goes Garibaldi. So the complexion of this inning changes completely. It went from second and first, nobody out, and potentially if that bunt was down, to second and third, 1 away, to now the Kingsmen being in a much more comfortable situation. That curveball missed high. It's a ball. Galloway flew out to right. A pop-up that was caught by Brody Winan on the slide. Donaldson with the 1-0. And it is just low of the zone. Looked pretty good at the knees, but did not get the call from behind home plate. It is 2-0. Outside corner gets the call that time. Framed nicely by Catron. It is 2-1. In the top of the fourth, the Kingsmen will bring Brody Winan, Jack Catron, and Matt De La Cruz to the hitting circle. Trying to keep this one tied until then. Kingsmen have not led in this ball game. 2-1 will wait as Donaldson goes to first once more. Just one game for the varsity team today. They play one game on all 3 days of the round robin. The prospect team had the day off yesterday. Play twice today, once tomorrow to wrap things up. Fly ball center field. Long run for Catani. Back toward the wall. Dino Catani drops it. Scrambling to his feet as the runner crosses third and comes home. All the way to third goes Galloway, and the run scores on the second error of the inning as Georgia Premier retakes the lead. Long run for Catani out in center. Certainly a difficult catch, but he got to the baseball and he will have wanted to come down with it to save the run and end the inning. Instead, Galloway is on third and it is a 2-1 score here in Lexington. Back into the windup, Donaldson against McBride. First pitch breaking ball outside. So the heroics of Bernie get 2 big outs, but despite that, Georgia Premier finds a way onto the board. They've had 2 big 2-out swings for their runs. As that ball hit out to left, De La Cruz has it for out number 3. Catch made to end the frame. We go to the fourth. 1 run in response for Georgia Premier. It's 2-1 here in the round robin on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Fourth inning here in Lexington. 2-1 is the score. Georgia Premier retakes the lead on the fly ball out to center. Brody Winan starts things off for the Kingsmen trying to avenge that run. They tied the game in the top of the third after having the bases loaded, but could not take the lead and then surrendered the lead once more. That's going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Garibaldi goes to first, and it is in time to get Winan on the ground ball. The ball was not ripped. It was hit a little bit softly, and it was a nice backhand stop in exchange from Garibaldi to get it to first base to beat the quick Brody Winan. So here's Jack Catron, the Kingsman catcher, popped out to first his last time. Pitcher Matterly. Outside corner strike. 0-1. Catron took it high of the letters. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. And Catron swings one-handed through that fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch from Travis Adderley into right center. Over to it is Galloway, has plenty of time and makes the catch for out number 2. Decent piece from Catron with 2 strikes, but it hung up for Zorn Galloway. Two outs, and the first pitch swinging De La Cruz. It is 0-1. He singled and scored to start off that productive 3rd inning. Looking for some 2-out production here. He takes ball 1 outside. That one not close from Adderley. Travis Adderley has pitched once against the Kingsmen this year, but this is his first start as De La Cruz waves at that one, 1-2. Bottom 4, it'll be 3-4-5 for Georgia Premier. Williams, who had the home run, will start it off. 2-strike pitch. Missed the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got about an hour 45 until that prospect game starts. This game flying by quickly as De La Cruz keeps it inside the line. Have a day, Matt De La Cruz. He's on his way to second with a 2-out double. Matt De La Cruz in the 8th spot is finding production against Adderley, and his swings are looking delightful today. It's his 2nd hit of the ball game. And now that sets up Deacon Curtis to potentially bring in an RBI. That's at the top of the zone against the younger brother of Jack Curtis, the main commit, who's watching on from behind home plate. Here's the 0-1 to Curtis. Slide step and a ground ball between Preston Hudak and the third base bag in foul territory. It's 0-2. Curtis had that bunt to the first base side. It looked like Appleboom had applied the tag on him coming off the first base bag to make the play, but he was called safe for the single. 0-2. Curveball swung on and missed, and the tag applied to end the inning. The Kingsmen with a 2-out double, but they do not score. It remains 2-1 here as we go to the bottom of the 4th here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. for Jake Donaldson back on the mound for his 4th inning of work. He has looked great on the mound today for the Kingsmen. He is behind 1-0 here to start North Williams, who hit that ball out to left field his last time he was at the plate. 1-0, takes the curveball inside edge, and it is 1-1. He hit a fly ball out to left that was called a home run by the home plate umpire to make it 1-0. From back here, it looked like it went through the wall, and I think Preston Hudak thought the same. Fastball on the outside corner to make it 1-2. That's a good one from Donaldson after dripping the inside half curveball into the zone 1 pitch before. 1-2 to the leadoff man. Back to the curve, just inside. Tried to front door him with the spin. 2-2, Amari Burrows is on deck. Williams hit his home run with 2 strikes last time against Donaldson. Here's the 2-2. This time he goes down looking, a breaking ball in there. Strikeout number 4 for Donaldson, and it's 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Primarily just the 2-pitch combo. Breaking ball from Donaldson can be lethal, as we have seen today. First pitch to Burrows, runs inside. It can also sneak away from the pitcher. That one slipped out of the hand, and it is a hit by pitch, his second, to allow Burrows to reach for the second time. Bankston, the next hitter. Check on the batter at the plate, Burrows, with the throw over to first. That's the second hit by pitch of the game for Donaldson. He hit 4 batters last time up against DCA. Nearly threw that one away, but it was scooped out nicely by Clark. Not a whole lot of walks you'll see from Donaldson. And every once in a while, a pitch will get away and run in on the hitter. 1 out, runner on first. In a 1-run ball game here, bottom 4. And another throw to first base. Kingsman still trying to find a lead for the first time in this ball game. They were down 1-0, and now we're down 2-1 after they had tied up things in the top of the 3rd. One 1-0 is the count. Conservative lead at first for Amari Burrows, who now takes an extra step. Donaldson's pitch is high for another ball. Beautiful day here in Lexington. It was overcast in the morning when the Kingsmen arrived at the ballpark. The sun has come out. The skies are shining blue. Bankston, then Seeley, then Gregg, 6, 7, and 8. Coming up after Bankston is done hitting. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner on the move, outside corner, Catron down to second, tagged, but the ball is on the ground, and the runner is safe. Decent throw from Catron. About a foot off from maybe the perfect spot to throw just to the right of the second base bat, but Thomas, trying to slap the tag on quickly, could not come up with the baseball. It is 2-1 after that last pitch was in there for a strike. And the runner is on second here with 1 away. Some extra time for the extra hitter, DJ Bankston. Donaldson comes set, stares down second, now brings his eyes back to the plate. Here's a fly ball deep to right center field. Long run for Kateni at the track toward the wall. He made the catch, and then slipped as he hit the warning track. Fires the ball back into the infield, and the runner tagging to third. That is a nice play by Dino Catani, and now we'll hope that he's all right after slipping out there as he walks back toward the center field position. Appears to be good to go. That is a long fly out. Nice catch. Dino, who's playing center, Tatum McNeil, appears to be being saved for the prospect games today. McNeil, the prospect left fielder, varsity center fielder. First pitch hit out to center again. Another long run for Catani, and this time he dives, and he made the catch. Dino Catani with two exceptional efforts out in center field, and he denies extra bases to keep it a one-run game. Slow to his feet, but I think the coaches will give him some extra time to hobble back into the dugout. What a catch to end the fourth inning. It remains 2-1 here in Lexington on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here for the top of the fifth. It's a one-run game here in Lexington, South Carolina, the home of the 2026 ABA Round Robin Tournament. All three levels, varsity, prospect, and premier, with games here in Lexington between the stadium across the street, home of Lexington Little Fish. Right field here across the way. Logan Daniel leading things off. It's the top of the over up for the Kingsmen here down 1-1. To make it 2-1. Donaldson on the mound for the Kingsmen through 4. Adderley with a good start as well. He's starting his fifth and is now behind 3-1 in the leadoff man. Daniel is 0 for 2. He grounded out, and then he reached on an error to the third baseman. That was a bunt attempt. 3-1. Daniel takes the fastball down the middle. It's 3-2. Trying to reach for Eli Thomas, who will be looking to put his first ball into play. Strikeout so far, 3-2. And Daniel turned, hit it out well to left, but it is foul and out of play. Shorter frame on Logan Daniel, but there's some pop in that bat. We've seen him with a ground rule double back in Houston, Texas against the Bennett School. We've seen some big hits from him. We'll see what he can do here with another payoff from Adderley. 3-2. Breaking ball low, a walk. Good take there from Ferd, and it's the tying run aboard here to start the fifth for Eli Thomas. Big bats of Catani, Clark, and Bernie up next. I wonder if we'll see Thomas try to square and get one down to move Daniel into scoring position. Throw to first, and Daniel is back safely. And another hand of the throw to get it down on the ground. The bat out of the hand of the three-hole hitter. Bunting to try to get the runners in scoring position. And now Harris Clark in the cleanup spot. Has runners on first and second with one away. The pitch. First pitch low. Kick some dirt up in front of the catcher, North Williams. Kick some dirt up in front of the catcher, North Williams. A couple of fresh baseballs for our home plate umpire. Harris Clark is 0 for 1 in this ball game, a walk and a strikeout. Swinging strikeout to end the first. He walked to bring in a run back in the third. Inside move, Daniel not running back to second. He goes without a throw. Clark got the RBI for that walk. It's the only run the Kingsmen have scored to this point. And now the 1-0 running inside of the hitter. Clark got the kneecaps out of the way. It's 2-0. Christian Bernie on deck, then Brody Wyman. 2-0. Clark swinging away, taps it to third. They go to the bag. Ridgway all the way to first. It is a double play to get out of the inning. Impressive work from Colton Ridgway to recover from his error and get Georgia Premier out of the bottom 5 on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here for the bottom of the 5th, we roll on in Lexington. Donaldson pitching into the 5th, and his first pitch is hit down the line and fair, past the dive of Christian Bernie. Chasing it into the corner is De La Cruz, as Gray Brown's first heads into second with a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Kingsmen have had some chances to get on the scoreboard. Georgia Premier still up by a run. Nearly scored in the last inning if it were not for the heroics of Dino Catani out in the gap. But things now difficult for the Kingsmen defensively. Julian Richards struck out looking against Donaldson his first time. He's back into the right-hand batter's box with a runner on second and no one out after the Jonah Gregg double. First pitch, square to bunt. That bunt is bunted foul to the Premier dugout. Tried to bunt. Their runners over in the last inning. Had second and first, nobody out. Tino Catani took the bat off his That's the next hit. Prevented the Kingsmen from tying the ball game. 0-1. That ball is down. It's fielded by Donaldson, who underhand flips to Thomas at first. He was covering the bag for Clark, who came in to guard the line, and up to third goes Gregg on the bunt. So that puts an insurance run 90 feet away as Dylan Applebaum comes back to the plate. Applebaum is 0 for 1. He hit a ground ball to the second baseman in the line twice. But he reached on an error. The infield comes 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch from Jake. Back to the curveball, hit to short. Daniel will go to the plate on 1 hop, and it's under Catron. Catron unable to block it. The run scores. Daniel fielded the high chopper and had to throw as he was setting his feet. The throw was on 1 hop on the grass, but Catron was unable to scoop it out of the dirt, and the run scores to make it 3-1. The Kingsmen do not get an out. It's a 3-1 runner on first with 1 away. And here's the pitch. That is low for a ball. Mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. This game crucial for the ABA conference standings. The Kingsman varsity team trying to pass Georgia Premier and grab the 5 seed. They would be sentenced to the 6, rendering their game against ECA irrelevant to the standings tomorrow if they are unable to win this ball game. They will have to come from behind from a multi-run deficit if they are to do so. They have 2 innings to do so. Donaldson trying to get the Kingsmen out of this game. Baldy was hit by a pitch last time. He is ahead 2-0 here as Catron sets up. Donaldson strides home. It's the top of the zone. Georgia Premier 1-1 so far in the round robin. This is their final game of the regular season. 2-1 pitch. And another strike at the top of the zone. Georgia Premier went 1-1 yesterday. They defeated P27. Actually, no hit the Blacksmiths in that first game of the day before falling to ECA in the game played on this field right before the Kingsmen's game yesterday. As there is a huge pitch from Donaldson to get Garibaldi with the strikeout. 2 gone here in the 5th. Colton Ridgway, the next hitter, grounded out. Actually popped out into that double play, the bunt that was caught on a dive by Christian Burney the last time around. Ridgway will have to hit here with 2 outs. 2-run lead for the home Red Sox. Swing and miss. The full bracket posted on social media at the conclusion of this week. Still a couple of games to decide the final seeding in the ABA championships in the last couple of weeks. Here's the 0-2 to Ridgway. Donaldson trying to get out of the 5th. Outside corner, struck him out. We go to the 6th here in Lexington. 1 more for the Red Sox. It's a 2-run game. We'll be right back. The Kingsmen back at the plate. sixth inning begins with the ball low and in to Christian Burney. The Kingsmen need some offense, and they need some quick. Here in this ball game, they have just 4 hits. They have gotten a couple of big scoring opportunities and just 1 run to show. A couple of different innings with runners in scoring position. They have had runners in scoring position in 4 of the 5 innings of this ball game. As Burney taps one to the pitcher, it is swept up by Hatterley, and the tag is applied by the pitcher himself. On the way. First pitch to Wynant. Low for a ball. The Kingsmen, between now and the end of the 7th, will do their best to get the top of the order round. The bottom of the order is 3 for 4 between Matt De La Cruz and Deacon Curtis. If 3 of the 4 Kingsmen hits, 2 balls and 1 strike, they love to see a situation where those guys come up with some opportunities to get to the base, and the top of the order comes up in a big spot to try and come down. First base side, and Fowler grounded out of play for strike number 2. It has been a quick one so far here in Lexington. We started at 11:45. We played for less than an hour, and we are in the 6th inning. The prospect team is still here and not even left to go to the stadium to warm up for their game. 2-2 is high for ball 3. Wynant, then Catron, then De La Cruz here in the top of the 6th. Has made the catch for out number 2. Just off of my view here, and the base umpire never made the outs. But based on the new batter coming to the plate, we can assume that the catch was made by Appleboom in the corner. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Here comes Catron, who hit the ball hard to center last time, but it was caught by Galloway. Hatterley's 1-0 pitch is shut down for the baseline. Foul on the ball and strike. Catron has made some good swings on the ball this week. The credit for it in the stats book. 1-1. Pops it up behind home Line drive, fly ball out into deep right center, but playable for Burrows, and that is 3 up, 3 down. Another fly ball for Catron. It is caught, and the Red Sox are out of the inning. We'll go bottom 6. Time running out for the Kingsmen. And go to the NBA. They'll try to hold the Red Sox when we come back. Kingsman Baseball Network. Bottom of the sixth, as we see a new pitcher on the mound for the Kingsmen, Jake Donaldson. A round of applause necessary for the effort he put out on the mound. Second start since February. Winan behind 2-0 out of the, well, not quite out of the bullpen, out of right field. Defensive change for the Kingsmen as a result. Nemo Barnes, who pitched in the game yesterday, is out into right to fill the outfield position. Winan needs to find the zone here and quickly. He is behind 3-0 to the top of the order, Zorn Galloway. Kingsmen trying to keep things close here. They have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up in the 7th. 3-0. 4-pitch walk. That one did not touch the glove of Patron. In the 5 innings for Jake Donaldson, he did not have a walk. He hit a couple of batters, but did not walk a single Red Sox hitter. It took 4 pitches into the 6th for the first walk that Georgia Premier has drawn here in this ballgame. So here is Casey McBride. He is 0 for 2. And now the ball away. Clark goes to second, and the tag. They had tagged him out, but time was called. And I think what the umpires are saying, it was a dead ball. Runner retreats to first, so no harm, no foul for either team. The Kingsmen could have benefited from that being a live ball. I think they would have had him at second. First pitch to McBride, inside of the zone, just missed. It is 1-0. Brody Winan on the mound out of Mankato, Minnesota. Runner on the move, just starting to be on the move, but now is going to jog to second. There was a balk call. A balk called on Brody Winan, and now Nick Osborne is out to have a one-on-one chat with Winan, who just does not look comfortable since coming into the game to pitch. Nick Osborne not normally involved on the mound visits. Coach Joe Hudak is, but you can actually see the top of Coach Hudak's head out of the dugout now and getting ready to kickstart the preparation for the prospect ball game that is set to get here in a few hours. Actually, just a little over an hour now. So Nick Osborne, as the assistant pitching coach, filling in for the mound visit duties. He is talked to Winan, trying to calm him down. And now Winan will pitch behind 1-0 to Casey McBride here in this 2-run ball game. Runner on second. 1-0. And that ball skied behind the press box, 1-1 on the foul ball. So that breaks the 5-in-a-row streak. Winan trying to start a new streak of strikes here. He is even in the count against the extra hitter. North Williams is on deck. Kingsman right there in this ball game, but they need to find a way to close down the Georgia Premier offense here in the 6th. 1-1. That is spiked, and it goes to the backstop, runner to third. Two balls and one strike. Runner on third and nobody out. Winan's next pitch. Popped up foul once again. It is 2-2. To get Casey McBride, there's one away here in the bottom of the 6th. One out. First pitch to Williams is just off the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Williams 1 for 2 with that home run to left, and the clean strikeout his last time. Infield comes in for the Kingsmen here with one away. 1-0. Inside, off the glove of the Patron, and the run will score. Off the scoreboard, and the run comes in without the ball being put into play. It was a leadoff walk, then a walk, then 2 wild pitches to score the runner. Two-0. Winan, with no one on, delivers ball 3. Mentioned it earlier, but it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the 7th for the Kingsmen. The 8 and 9 hitters have combined for 3 of the 4 hits today for the Kingsmen. Traditionally, wouldn't love that part of the rugby build-up. I think they do, with the hot bats that are currently being swung. See if the bottom of the order can kickstart a final rally here. 3-1. Fly ball center field, long run out there for Catani. And he thought he had it. I thought he had the baseball. Catani looks frustrated. Williams reaches second base. That is now going to be courtesy ran for. Faced, a walk, a strikeout, and the deep fly ball. We will take a break here and be back with the remainder of the 6th here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Tate Johnston on the mound for the Kingsmen, looking for a couple of outs to get the Kingsmen into the 7th. Comes in for Brody Winan. Delivers a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Johnston, one of the 25 gap year guys. Two big outs. The Kingsmen right in this game with Georgia Premier only down by 3 runs. Neither team scored more than 1 run in an inning of this game. That ball up in the air, it bounced off of K-Trend, and then the throw goes down to third on a hop. Gloved by Bernie. Wild pitch puts Williams, courtesy. Side of the infield, but not deep at all. And Thomas makes the catch. That is a huge out for Johnston to keep the runner on third, and now he can pitch to DJ Bankston, trying to get out of the inning. Bankston was the first of 2 hitters in a row to hit deep fly balls to right center field. His last time, Catani made a couple of nice catches, though he has a drop here in this inning that has allowed for the runner to be on third that Georgia Premier currently threatens with. Here comes Nick Osborne. Johnston has faced 1 hitter, got the pop out. Does actually appear to be a pinch hitter for Georgia Premier. Unfortunately, I do not have a full roster for the Red Sox. We'll have to rely on, hopefully, this hitter having played already against the Kingsmen, and he has. It's Pedro Bailey, pinch hitting for DJ Bankston. Here's the ball. Played against the Kingsmen in that game in East Cobb back in February. The next pitch, away from K-Turn, but not away enough for the runner to try and come to the plate. It is 2-0 though now. Low and away. Johnston behind 3-0 here to Bailey. And with the 3-0 count, they're going to intentionally walk Pedro Bailey. Interesting to see that, but it makes a decent amount of sense. That runner doesn't matter a whole lot in the scope of things. You're looking to have a hit in this ball game. He was denied a hit with the diving catch by Dino Catani last time. Corners with 2 away. See if the runner gets on the move. First pitch outside corner strike, 0-1. This is the 3rd time around the order for Georgia Premier, who are hitting 2 more hitters than the Kingsmen are. The Kingsmen will finish their 3rd trip around the order, and the inning is over. Dino Catani was over there to back up the play, but slipped as he got close to De La Cruz. He has had trouble. That's a big, well, actually just the 1 run came in earlier, but no runs coming on Johnston. That's a big job by the reliever to come in and get a couple of big outs. We go to the 7th. The Kingsmen need the 7th. There's a new pitcher on the mound for Georgia Premier, and it is Nathan Newman, wearing the number 34 for the Georgia Premier Red Sox. Travis Adderley with a great job on the mound. Travis Adderley with a great job on the mound. 6 innings. De La Cruz now sees a strike. It is 1-1. Matt De La Cruz has ripped 2 line drives through the infield on the left side. One was a single, one was a double. Here's the 1-1. Take it low. 2 balls and 1 strike. It is De La Cruz, Curtis, and Logan Daniel. The Kingsmen will need to have more than just those 3 come to the plate. They are to come back. That's ball 3. Newman trying to get the save for Georgia Premier, who has defeated the Kingsmen in 2 of their 4 meetings this season. The winner of this game takes over the 5 seed and takes the season series. That's strike 2 in there. De La Cruz will have to fight with the count full. Deacon Curtis on deck. Well, it was Deacon Curtis, but Nemo Barnes is on deck. 3-2. Got De La Cruz looking. Trying to walk aboard, but he is rung up on strike 3, and there's 1 gone. So I just mentioned it. Deacon Curtis was the designated hitter. Nemo Barnes, who came into the game to play right, is going to get the of hitters try to kickstart a rally. 0-1. Strike 2. About 55 minutes until the prospect game gets going, pending the conclusion of the game prior over the stadium. As that ball is hit high in the air to left field, Thomas racing back the left fielder, and that ball is gone! Eli Thomas hits a 2-run home run. And the class of 2030, man, hits a 2-run bomb to bring it to a 1-run game. Oh my goodness. He's an 8th grader, folks. And he has left the ballpark on Nathan Newman to keep this game alive and bring the tying run to the plate. Here's Dino. First pitch on the outside corner. What a moment in the 7th inning of this ball game. Thomas was hitless in the series, and he comes up with the home run, and now the game very much alive for the Kingsmen. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dino Catani. Catani took the ball that got to the backstop once again, and it is 3-1. Hit high in the air, looking toward the Georgia Premier dugout. Colton Ridgway runs out of room. That ball just a couple of feet foul. Some late drama here in Lexington. A 2-run home run from Eli Thomas made it 4-3. And now Dino Catani, one of the home run leaders on this varsity team, trying to swing it with 2 strikes. 3-2. And he hits it down the right field line, hooking toward the corner. It's a fair ball, and it goes to the wall. It's cut off by Burrows. He throws it into second, and the ball goes into left. But it is backed up by Richards to keep Catani at second base. That's why you back up the play, folks. If the left fielder had not moved to his position, Catani would have started running. But it is a 2-out double to bring Harris Clark to the plate here in a one-run ball game. Georgia Premier coach out to talk to Nathan Newman, trying to recover and secure the save and secure the win for Georgia Premier. Travis Adderley in line for the win after 6 innings of one-run ball. The Kingsmen are fighting back at the very last moments. Championships at Lake Queen and 2 weeks. The Kingsmen still alive for the 5 and have control of their own destiny if they can come back and win this ball game. First pitch to Harris Clark. Clark takes it low. For the bulk of this season, Harris Clark was batting in the 100s, but he has really turned on the jets over the last couple of weeks. Has some great numbers in the last 2 weeks. And he hits a high fly ball into deep left field. Back on it goes Richards in the track. Oh, it's gone! Harris Clark does it again! 2 home runs in the inning! It's a resurrection here in the 7th as the Kingsmen take over 5-4. The fight continues, and the Kingsmen lead for the first time here in the 7th. Here's Christian Burney with the bases empty. And he grounds it to third on the first pitch. Ridgeway to first. And the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag and it goes into shallow right. The first baseman, Appleboom, throws to second and the ball is on the ground. Burney is safe. What a turnaround here in this ball game. The Kingsmen were down to their final out. They barely grounded to a and it could be argued that Logan Campbell was out at first base. It was very close. Bang, bang at first. The call was saved by the base umpire, which allowed for Eli Thomas to come up and hit a 2-run home run. Dino Catani doubled, and then Harris Clark with another home run. His bat has been on fire. Now Burney reaches on the air to bring up. That's Katie McNeil. Katie McNeil is taking an at-bat. This is interesting, folks. McNeil was not in the starting lineup. He's one of the floaters between the prospect and varsity team. It was the understanding that he was not going to play in this game. There's the 1-0. He's in there. In fact, he was not even dressed at the beginning of this game. He showed up to the ballpark an hour after the game started with the prospect team. And he is now getting an at-bat because this game has moved so quick and the prospect team is still here. Might as well. 1-1, he swings through the breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curious to see what the Kingsmen do in the bullpen in the bottom of the 7th. I think that's Nemo Barnes that is warming up down the line. Can't quite see to be sure. 1-2. And a strikeout for McNeil in the pinch hit at bat. The Kingsmen erupt. They win until the absolute last possible moment, but they have the lead, and they're 3 outs away from victory. We'll be right back here in Lexington. It's the ABA Round Robin right here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Nemo Barnes is on the mound as the 7th inning starts with a swinging strike from Jonah Gregg. If you are just rejoining us, oh boy, what a 7th inning. The Kingsmen scored 4 runs, down 3, on two-run home runs, one by Eli Thomas and one by Harris Clark. They take their first lead of the ballgame and are now 3 outs away from wrapping it up. 0-1. There's a breaking ball. There's actually 2 balls and 1 strike now after back-to-back pitches missed the zone. Barnes got the save in yesterday's contest. Out there again today and gets another swinging strike to make it 2-2. Barnes, one of the starting pitchers on this Kingsman varsity team, but he has been called in to try to secure some big wins out of the bullpen. 2-2, outside with ball 3. It is 7, 8, and 9 for Georgia Premier. Here in this inning, it's Gregg, Richards, and Appleboom. 3-2 pitch. Just inside, a leadoff walk for Gregg puts the tying run aboard. Barnes needs to settle in here out of the stretch against Richards. He fires ball 1 outside. First time this season that Barnes is pitching on back-to-back days. Granted, his pitch count a lot lower yesterday than he normally would in an appearance, but it is still an adjustment to make on the fly nonetheless. Here's a pop-up, check swing, playable for Catcher and Clark, and it's Clark that makes the catch in foul territory, calling off the catcher. That's a smart play from Harris Clark to call off Catron. He has a much better angle running in toward that ball than Catron staring straight up at the sky. And that is a huge first out here in the 7th. The Kingsmen 2 outs away from the win. Dylan Appleboom up to the plate. He has reached twice on an error. Once by the second baseman, once by the shortstop. They go to first and they get it picked off. They pick off Jonah Gregg for out number 2. Unbelievable. The tying run cut down with the pickoff move, and the Kingsmen are an out away from the win. First pitch high for ball 1, so it is now the tying run at the plate. Dylan Appleboom trying to keep this one going after a 7th inning collapse by Georgia Premier. 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Still time to swing the pendulum back in the direction of the Red Sox, but that time is dwindling. 2-0 from Nemo, and high for ball 3. Keon Garibaldi is on deck to hit as the shortstop to hit my pitch and strike it 3-0. And he will come to the plate as the winning run as the fastball is high for the knows what the pitching situation is like for tomorrow against ECA. Kingsman just don't have a lot of arms left. That's really still questionable. Having some knee issues and being removed from his last start at ECA. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to go either this week or for the remainder of the season. Waiting to hear official word on his status. Outside for ball 2. It is entirely possible that he starts the game tomorrow. We just do not know. He's been wearing a brace and throwing on the flat ground. Of course, you don't want to make anything worse. But they're in it to win some ball games late in the season. 2 balls and no strikes, 6 in a row for Barnes. Trying to find the zone once again here and away from the win. They go to first. First base. A reminder, 2:30 start for Prospect Baseball against Bobcats of ECA. hustle over there and get set up. Turn things around and go again. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch from Barnes. Swing and a miss. 1 strike away from a comeback victory that will be talked about for a while. Trying to start 2-0 here in the round robin and take control of seed number 5 in the ABA tournament. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barnes to the plate. High for ball 3, and the runner will now have a head start. These teams have both defeated one another twice. The winner of this ball game will win the season series between the 2 clubs. 3-2. Ground ball to Bernie. Christian Bernie knocks it down. Goes to first low. And it's by Clark and bounces back toward the field. They will hold the runner in third. Clark holds the ball and does not throw it out. Put 2 away. The Georgia Premier third base coach screaming at his base runner to hold at third. But an error by the Kingsmen keeps this game alive for Colton Ridgway at the bottom of the order. Colton Ridgway, the third baseman, takes a first pitch strike. The tying run is 90 feet away. The winning run is at first. 4 runs in the top of the inning for the Kingsmen to come back and take their first lead. They're trying to close it out. 0-1 and 0-2 as that is on the outside corner. Nehemiah Barnes out of Bowling Green, Ohio, pitching his 2nd consecutive save opportunity in as many days, pitching for the 2nd time in 24 hours. He comes set with the 0-2 pitch. Runner on the move to second, and they just miss the outside corner as the runner Appleboom takes second base. Or rather, it's Appleboom on third. That's Garibaldi that just took second base. The winning run is now in scoring position, but the Kingsmen are a strike away from the win. 1-2 from the right-hander. Low and away, it bounces in front of the catcher, and the runner stay put. Those in attendance are either on the edge of their seats or standing. Treated to an exceptional finish to this ball game. Ridgway is at the plate. Zoran Galloway, the top of the order, is on deck. If another hitter comes, 2-2. Just high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count is full. First base unoccupied, so the runners will not be moving. 3-2 pitch. Just high for ball 4. And Zoran Galloway will come up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, down 1 run. It's the kind of situation you dream of. And with the runner at second being the winning run, we will have a pinch runner come in for Garibaldi. Pinch runner on second with a little bit more speed as Barnes works out of the windup to Galloway, who is hitless. But before a pitch is thrown, Nick Osborne will walk to the mound. So much for the quick game, folks. We were at about an hour and 20 in the 6th inning. Over the 2-hour mark now, but I'm willing to happily trade that for the finish to the ball game that we have gotten here. 2 7th inning home runs for the Kingsmen. From Harris Clark and Eli Thomas. Clark's the go-ahead to score Catani, who had come up with a 2-out double right after Thomas had hit the home run to kickstart the rally. Nemo Barnes came in to pitch. He has walked 2. He's actually walked 3. And there has been an error on Christian Burney to keep this game alive. Barnes pitching to Galloway with the bases loaded. First pitch. Outside corner strike, a good one from Barnes to open the at-bat. He has had a couple of chances to end this ball game. The Georgia Premier making him work. Here's the 0-1 out of the windup. Blocked by Catron. Top of the zone for a ball, strike two, expanding the zone with the high heat. A strike away from victory once more with the tying run at third and the winning run at second. There's a force at every base. Right ground ball that stays in the infield. 1-2 from Nemo. Breaking ball just outside. Catron tried to frame it. And 2 strikes. Barnes set at the belt and starts his windup. Fastball! No! 3-2. He is right there on the corners, but the home plate umpire is waiting for a good one before ringing up Galloway. The runners will now have a head start. 3-2. Ground ball to Burney. It's off of Christian Burney. And it stays in the infield. 2-run score and the ball game is over. Christian Burney stumbled. And that will do it. Burney stumbled. The ball stayed on the infield, but he did not scramble up to retrieve it. And after all of that, the ball game ends in a Georgia Premier walk-off victory. 6-5 your final. A tough one as the Kingsmen come back. But it's a 2-run walk-off victory for the Red Sox without a hit. That will do it for today's broadcast. We will be back in half an hour with Prospect Baseball against ECA. The Kingsmen will be back on the air soon. And we hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Once again, final score 6-5. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long from Lexington, South Carolina. We'll be back with Prospect Ball soon here on the Kingsman Baseball Network.